Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm super happy to welcome back Paul Vuocolo from Truenemy. He is fresh off the release of his newest single titled Saturation Point, and I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. Paul, I want to thank you so much for coming back. What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a while.
It has been a little bit. What's news in the life?
Just navigating the life and whatnot. I'm finally getting back to when we last chatted. I told you I dug in the archives during the COVID stay-at-home orders,
Yes.
and finally, yeah, and so finally getting back to releasing another a single from those archives.
Amazing, man. I want to hear all about it. This song is an absolute ripper. I've had it
Cool.
on all day, cranked up as loud as possible, which is the recommended listening, if I have to say
Nice.
so.
Uh,
The first thing I really want to know about here is what is this song all about? What does it mean to you?
it's there's not any big concept behind it. It is one of the first songs I wrote many years ago, like when I was in
Okay.
my band, so in the '90s, and so it's always stuck with me, and holds a special place in my heart. So I my first band, Sloth, who I was my nephews Chris and Nick Slayton were members of, along with a good mutual friend John Beer, who played bass. And the song originated basically just, it was just no strong concept, just
Sure,
big.
sure.
I've always been a Megadeth fan, and it's a very Megadeth, or I would say '90s Megadeth inspired
Okay.
song, or at least when I hear the riffs and I think about where my head was at that time, it's very Megadethy, and having a little Dave Mustaine attitude in that song a little bit. So that's really what it boiled down to. No strong concept, and just I think everyone can relate to just anyone in their life kind of complaining about something or continually or whatnot, never taking any action. They just want to basically complain all the time. So it's
Yeah,
just
I get it.
so it's just a response to that, basically saying, "Hey, I've had enough, man. Either do something or cut it out." So,
Nice. So
preaching.
why this archive as opposed to the others that have been sitting around?
It just kind of, it was the first. So I've been working with Chuck Alkazian at Pearl Sound Studios here in Canton, Michigan.
Sure.
This was one of the first songs I sent to him when we were kind of texting. I was like, "Hey, are you mixing during all this shutdown or whatnot?" And so I put that session file together, and this is one of the first ones. And we got back to plugging in a couple holes in the song. Oh gosh, I don't know, January, February of this year, and a cool kind of a side note here. But fun part of digging into these tracks was at one point Chuck's like, "Why is there reverb on the bass?" I don't know, and I'm in my home studio and probably left reverb on. So I got to dig in the archives, and I actually found, I had many takes and sessions, and I did found a direct input bass track, and that all worked out. So
Did you get to record this in studio, or was this all just back and forth through email again?
there was some in-person mixing, I believe. I don't remember.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
very cool.
So,
So it's been like a year and 2 months or so since we've
yeah.
spoken. It's been a little while. I want kind of an update on the music side of things. Have you been just pulling from the archive? Have you been doing anything original that we can expect? I don't know what you want to say or can't say.
Oh no, no big secret. Still digging in the archive. I've got a son who finished virtual kindergarten last time we were talking, and he's in first grade. So,
Yes,
so my
exactly.
yeah, my routines have changed a lot over the last 2 years, but
Yeah.
still digging in the archives, and with the goal of getting all that released. It originally was like deliver it all as an LP, and just it doesn't work with my schedule and all that. So we'll just kind of drip them out as we finish them.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get another single out in the next couple months, and then definitely want to get an EP out in the fall that has another song that would be on an LP, and with like three covers kind of mixed in. So there's some new old with that there, but I don't want to give away too much.
That's
So
okay. You don't have to. That's just another time to
yeah,
speak. Um,
yeah, exactly.
so during this time, I suppose, like why now for this single? Have things died down a little bit? Did you finally just get that itch to get it going again, or just a multitude of reasons?
yeah, just things die down. There's some space to kind of revisit it
Uh,
and hit the gas pedal to kind of get it done and released and go through all this the cycle of sharing on social media and all that. So
all the good
yeah,
stuff.
it all worked out. I was the other thing I was doing over the I guess past year. Would you say 2 months? You had that down, huh?
Oh, I looked. Don't worry. I made
But
sure.
yeah, no, I dug into the archives, my archives, and digitized a lot of old performances and
Okay.
did some performances for like SoundCloud, exclusive stuff on SoundCloud and YouTube videos that they're premiering of old
Sure.
performances. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Truenemy YouTube channel. But so that was pretty cathartic, fun process to go through all that. And then as part of that, I was able to see what we did with some of the songs live, so that when we finish these songs, I can kind of fill in the holes of maybe there was a vocal harmony here that we didn't originally record, kind of thing. So that was kind of
That
cool to
makes
take.
sense.
Yeah, so that, and then I got a new website up as part of that, because that's what I do. Aside from music is web and digital stuff. So it was kind of fun to put a new website together,
Nice.
drop in all the media, do a kind of media
Of
rich
course.
site. So that was cool. And then I just continued practicing and playing and recording stuff to kind of fill in the missing parts on the songs.
Nice. Do you feel that you approached this song a little bit differently than Midnight Train in terms of either style or kind of like making things go faster or just anything that kind of stood out?
Not really. This song just kind of it is what it is, because it is
Hmm.
one of the first songs I ever wrote, and didn't really change much to it. Maybe added a little more some vocal harmonies to it than were originally considered, just to kind of give it a
Sure.
little flavor. And I think it all turned out good. But no, not really. It's just it kind of, to me, it is what it is. So
I
it,
understand. Yeah, no, and honestly, like I went back and forth listening to each of them a few times through, and
oh,
I obviously I loved Midnight Train, and we spoke about that, but I really like this one instantly because the intro just hooks you in so quickly.
cool.
But it also I mean, obviously it's like it's metal, and metal is a huge umbrella nowadays, but
Right.
it feels lighter in a way. I don't know, maybe more approachable for someone that hasn't dipped their toes into the genre before. I don't know. I kind of want to hear from you on metal because it's not approachable for so many people that haven't listened before.
Right. I would agree with you there. I mean, I feel like it's oh gosh, for lack of a better word, a little more radio friendly. I mean, it's shorter.
Sure,
It's got
sure.
yeah, it's got some more of a catchy melody in there
Yeah,
and all that. So no, I would agree with you. And I love metal. I love all sorts of music, but
yeah.
I don't get into a lot of the real extreme metal or the guttural kind of metal, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's more of the
Yeah, yeah,
accessible, melodic kind of metal, and that's where I kind of feel like my home is. So I think that's where this kind of fits.
totally. And as far as like original music goes in the future, is there anyone nowadays that you're kind of looking up to or trying to pull from or channel from?
Not really, because I'm just kind
No?
of digging archives and
Right.
anything you'll hear new. Really, he's kind of an amalgamation of newer stuff I listened to probably in the 2010s, and like
Okay.
some Beatles stuff. Like I just kind of like to grab
Sure.
pieces from everything and meld them into something, and but still give them a common genre vibe, if that makes sense.
I know. But hypothetically, if you did have to slap a label on this, I suppose the elevator pitch of the song to someone, how would you phrase it?
Oh, I would say it's a hard rock slash metal song, but
Yeah.
this one leans a little more hard rock. I think
Sure, sure.
the thrashy solo in here, it lends itself more to metal, the crossover there. But
I get that. I mean, obviously, I'm in a friend group of people that were sending songs back and forth to each other all the time, and you get to learn what people like. You get to know what their obvious likes and dislikes. But I really do sincerely feel that this has an accessibility to it for those that don't really, they hear the word metal and they run for the hills. So I think that's a real selling point here for anyone that hasn't listened to your music.
awesome, I appreciate that, and
Of course, of course.
reassuring to hear, because I do feel like it was a little more accessible, and so
Right.
you for the feedback. Appreciate
I'm
it.
always. And I think last time we spoke, we obviously things were super up in the air with getting out on the road and touring or even playing local shows. I know you've only got these two officially recorded songs, but is getting on stage something that's in the cards, something that you want to do or thought about?
I've thought about it. I would never say never, but it's definitely not like in the immediate plans. I've done some live stream stuff,
Sure, sure.
playing down here and whatnot, like on YouTube or Facebook. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I would never say never. I would want my son to see me playing on stage again.
I think
So
that would be amazing.
yeah,
Do you think that you'd be able to get any of like the session musicians to get play with you, or
yeah. Actually,
are any of them local anyway?
yeah, they're not too
Yeah.
far. They're all within the Southeast Michigan
Okay.
region. Over the course of the past year or so, I've reached out, um, just kind of Facebook messaging or whatnot, because as I've dug in the archives, I kind of want to let people know what I'm doing.
Sure.
I'm going to be sharing your photo and video on the internet. Are you cool with that kind of stuff? So because it's been a while. But there's
I
been kind of
understand.
back and forth. Yeah, there's been some general talk about maybe that happening.
Very cool. So hypothetically speaking on that front, then let's say you got a show booked. Something's in the, something's you go to a venue and the manager, he's just like, all right, you got one song to play. Is there anything released or unreleased that you'd like to get up there and play to really wow the crowd?
Oh wow. Well, like I said, digging in the archives, we had a pretty cool set back in the day, opening with Midnight Train,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
following up with Saturation Point, and then we always, one of my favorite songs, we did a cover of, there's a Megadeth song called She Wolf.
Okay.
Has really cool dueling guitar solos. So those three definitely. And there's another song, Fight, that we always closed out with, which is a really fun one, which has a cool kind of fight chant at the end.
Awesome. Perfect for a live setting, I assume.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Well, definitely all of those, and a couple others from back in the day, and maybe some new covers of some stuff that's happened in between.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna have a 10-song set, you gotta have some covers to really suck the crowd in.
Totally. I'm not opposed to covers. I just like covers personally done
Yeah.
well. So yeah.
No, you can't butcher them. Totally understand. So we are recording this right at the end of March at this point, and it's hard to believe that we're even like this far in the year. It still feels like the beginning. I still think it's a decent question to ask. What are some lofty goals that you've set for yourself by the end of this year?
I want to get the rest of the songs all shaped up and finished.
Mhm.
Just kind of ready to either release as one LP or just drip out. Haven't really determined. And then definitely want to finish the EP I mentioned. That would be timely for because of the song, the original song that would be included in that. It's called Lightning Ball.
Sure.
There's no secret there. It's been performed live and whatnot. But
That's okay.
that and the covers that go with it's kind of like has a dark, spooky theme to it, and I think it would be timely to get that. So I definitely want to get that. Want that to land, around late September, early October.
Nice. That seems like a pretty doable goal.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
a live album too, if you could swing it.
Yeah, I don't know. The sound on the 8mm digital tapes isn't too hot. So
No, not great. That's hard to believe.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. And on the flip side, what about you as a person? I know I asked you this last time, but it's a new year. So what's going on in the life of Paul, non-music related, that we'd like to accomplish?
Oh man, I could bore you. Just it's work. Day job stuff has been really intense.
Sure.
I would say we haven't escaped the great resignation with people leaving and retiring or whatnot. So we've had a lot of turnover and all that. But other than that, it's been great seeing my son navigate first grade and get really good at math and love math, because I didn't love math. So I'm like, okay. But
no, same. Forget it. No.
So yeah, no, it's fun, and then we're gonna go on vacation soon here to Florida. So
nice. Get it while the weather's hot and there's no hurricanes.
Totally. Yeah, I before I forget, I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Kun Lee. He's the one who played the guitar solo on this track.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so I don't want to take credit for that guitar solo. I'm not that much of a virtuoso, but back in when I was recording these in the early 2000s, I remembered him from a talent show where he played the Randy Rhoads solo from the Ozzy tribute
Sure,
record
sure.
flawlessly. And so when it came time to record Truenemy songs, I wanted more of an exotic player, and I reached out to him, and he laid down a solo for Saturation Point, and also for some of the other songs that will be coming out. So and also an acoustic cover of a song from an 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System game. And so
What?
you'll see that at some point, or hear that.
I can't even begin to imagine what that sounds like, but I've never been more excited in my life. So we'll see. A couple more questions for you. I want to know what has been on your playlist lately. What's been on repeat that you just haven't been able to put down?
All right. Well, this might be surprising or maybe not, but there's been a lot of Elvis playing in our household.
Really? Okay.
Quite some time. Yeah. Having a kid, it kind of reminds you of the things you enjoyed when you were a kid. And then at some point last year, we got into Elvis. I don't remember. And I played the '68 comeback special and the Aloha from Hawaii concert for my son. He really enjoyed it.
Very cool.
We play Elvis a lot, and it's relatively safe to have playing in the background and whatnot.
Very true.
So I've been listening to that. I go off on strange tangents. I
Yeah.
saw No Time to Die back in the fall, and immediately go on
Sweet.
a tangent of all James Bond music.
Sure.
So I just don't I just don't listen to like rock and metal. It's just whatever. I just follow wherever something that
I
interests
totally
me.
get it. No, it's like I've heard, comedians when they get home, they're watching like murder dramas. They want nothing to do with the thing that they're involved in, and it completely makes sense. I also think that in terms of creation, if you listen to the same thing or even similar, it starts to rub off on you a little bit too much, and you may start making that music on accident, whether you like it or not.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of just
Definitely a thing.
paint
Um,
with
uh,
limited colors or brush or whatever the term is.
right, exactly. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Paul, I have one more question for you, and it's how I like to wrap these things up. Basically, the question is for the person that is going to discover you from this, for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Get ready to rock, and if you're doing a cardio exercise plan or something, cue up Midnight Train at Saturation Point to get it started.
Just on repeat, back and forth and back and forth.
There you go. More to come.
I fully endorse it. Paul, I want to thank you so much for your time. This has been great to catch up. And for everyone else out there, we'll have the links for everyone to listen, but Saturation Point is out. Crank it up, put it on repeat, do your workout to it, send it to your grandma, whoever's willing to listen.
Awesome. Thank you, Austin.
You're very welcome, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
All right. Take care.
Take care, you too. Bye-bye.